In this video, we're going to talk about how to get a raise at work. The reality is your employer won't give you a raise just out of the goodness of their heart, despite how difficult it might be for you out there in this economy. If you tell yourself all you need is to do a great job at work and work lots of hours, that still won't guarantee you a raise. So where does this leave you? How can you ask for a raise at work so you can earn more money and take off some of that financial pressure? Through the 7 tips in this video plus the template script at the end, I'm going to teach you how to create an undeniable case for a raise at work. Let's go. As a prelude to this video, I want to share something really important before we get started. Now, in times of economic pressure like what we are currently experiencing, it's important that if you want to ask for a raise at work, you be the very first to ask for a raise. If other people get in ahead of you, it could deplete the departmental budget for salaries. So once you get the confidence, once you get the strategy up, you need to ask for a raise as soon as you can. As a rule of thumb, these are the situations in which you can ask for a raise. If it's been a year since your last raise or since your salary was set, if your role has changed significantly, if you've upskilled to a level that warrants a raise, if you're being paid below market value, if you were promised a raise previously but it didn't happen, if your company is thriving. If you meet any of these situations, then you should be confident that you are in the right position to ask for a raise. The first thing you need to do is research. This is fundamental to building a case that you deserve a pay rise. You need to look at the typical salary for jobs like yours in your location. Don't just look at your job title and then look at what the salary is people earn with that job title, because you could be performing duties beyond what your responsibilities actually are. You could be performing duties beyond what your job title actually states. So make a list of duties that you currently perform in your job, find a job or a job title that matches or best matches that type of description or that type of job and the duties that you're performing. See what salary that particular job has. Are you being paid the same amount to correlating jobs in the market? This is how you find out whether you are being underpaid or whether you should be paid more. It's also important to look at jobs within your specific city or location, because the salary range for the same job can differ quite tremendously from location to location. This type of research will help you bring facts to the discussion. And when you bring facts to the discussion, you back up what you are claiming to your boss, that you are worth more money. And it will help you feel less anxious about having a pay rise conversation with your boss, because you will have a clear understanding of what you are worth. The second tip to ask for a pay rise is to take on more responsibility. Taking on more responsibility at work shows your boss that you are worth a pay rise. If you stick to doing only the jobs within your job description and don't move beyond that, you'll be paid the amount according to your job title or your job description. If you want to grow your salary, you need to grow your level of responsibility. So grow your level of responsibility and duties beyond what your job description requires. Employment is not a free ride. You won't be paid more just because people like you. That is not how business works. If you want to be paid more, you have to show that you are adding more value. You're bringing something extra to your job, to your team, to your company than what you were bringing before. This is how your boss will know you deserve a pay rise. So think about how you can add more responsibility to your role. Master duties and responsibilities in your current role. Go above and beyond to show that you are capable of more. Start solving problems in the job that you want. Volunteer for a stretch project to start working toward a raise. If you're enjoying this video so far and you want more videos like this to help you advance as an emerging leader, then hit the like button below this video, subscribe to my channel. Let's get back to the content. Communicating your worth and often is also essential to helping you get a pay rise. It's how you position yourself as a star employee who deserves a pay rise. Did you help increase revenue? If so, how much? Did you help bring in clients? Did you contribute to a future product or service that will help the company? Did you receive extremely positive feedback in your job? How has the team, the department, or the company benefited from your contribution? This is what your boss is really interested in. This is how they know whether you are worth a pay rise or not before you even ask. They want to know what is in it for them. They want to know if they are paying you more money, what are they going to get in return? You have to think like a boss. You have to start thinking like a company. What is in it for the company? This is what your boss is going to be asking themselves when you ask them for a pay rise. So start making a list of all of the wins you've had in the past 12 months in your job. How has it impacted the company? How has it helped your boss? How has it helped your team? Write all of these things down and start compiling a list, because you will need this for the conversation you're going to have when you ask for a pay rise. The fourth tip to get a pay rise is to collect indicators of your wins. So part of the process that I just spoke about, where you write a list of your wins, you also need to collect indicators of those wins. You need to prove to your boss that you have made those accomplishments, you have created those wins. So think about concrete evidence, think about data, think about numbers, think about revenue numbers. All of these things will help you support your claim that you deserve a pay rise. If you helped increase sales for the company, by how much did you do that? If you helped reduce expenses for the company, by how much did you do that? How many clients did you bring in for the company, and how many dollars did this translate into? What specific role did you play in the creation of a future product or a future service? What was the positive feedback that you received? Print out emails of this if you can. There are many ways to collect indicators of your wins, and what's really important is that you record them in real time, because it can be very difficult to remember the wins you had 6 months ago or even 12 months ago. So on your computer, keep a folder or a notepad where you store a record of every win that you have and write about them in real time. The fifth tip to help you get a pay rise is to focus on why you deserve it, not why you need it. Now, your wins and the indicators of your wins will help you back up your claim that you deserve a pay rise, not that you need a pay rise. And there's an important distinction here that you really need to understand, because your boss won't give you charity. If you are finding it difficult to make ends meet, to financially survive, your boss might have empathy for you, but it might not be enough to actually force them to open up the budget and to give you a pay rise. For them to give you a pay rise, they need to know that you actually deserve it, that you're contributing something extra to the company, something really important to the company that they can't do without. Your boss will only care about what's in it for them, what's in it for the company. So think about what you are contributing. How can they benefit from you getting a pay rise? You need to be clear on this before you go into the discussion when you ask for a pay rise. Will your pay rise help you to contribute more innovative or creative ideas to the team or to the company? Will your pay rise mean you're in a better position to work with high-level clients? Will your pay rise mean that the company has an experienced person like you in that position? Will your pay rise mean the company won't have to spend money finding a replacement or training up an external hire? You need to put yourself in your boss's shoes, think like a boss, think like a company. What is in it for them? What does your pay rise mean to them? The sixth tip to ask for a pay rise is to communicate your future potential. Communicating your future potential shows your boss that you are dedicated to the company, you're dedicated to your job, you're in it for the long term. You're not going to leave your job in 6 months' time taking all that you have learned with you. Employers love to see this. They love to see that you are committed to the company, but you are also committed to your own career growth, and that your career growth involves them. Talk about the future goals that you have. Talk about the positions in the company that you aspire to. Talk about the skills that you would like to learn and develop, and you can also ask for assistance or training in the area to learn those skills. So the seventh tip to ask for a pay rise is to practice, practice, and practice. Practice talking about the points that you learnt about in this video. How will you communicate it to your boss? Practice being confident when you ask for a pay rise. Ask a friend or a coworker that you trust to practice this conversation with you, and also ask them to be resistant in the conversation, because asking for a pay rise won't always be an easy conversation to have. Sometimes your boss might be resistant to the idea. Sometimes they will reject the idea. Sometimes you may need to leave the conversation and say, well, let's revisit this in 6 months' time. But practicing with a friend or a trusted coworker, this will give you experience in having this conversation, so you are a lot more on point when you communicate your value, when you communicate that you do deserve a pay rise. It will also give you a lot more confidence when you do have that conversation with your boss. When you have that conversation, you can use this template to ask for a pay rise. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me. As you probably know, I've been in my role for 2 years now, and I've been thinking a lot lately about my growth and future inside this company. I've successfully mastered the duties and responsibilities of my job as a software engineer, and in many cases, I've gone beyond these responsibilities. Recently, I contributed to the new fitness app that the company is developing. Because I was the most experienced in this project, I ended up leading the team of 10 people. I helped train them so they were skilled for the job, and I oversaw their work throughout the 6-month project. This app helped the company earn $2 million in revenue in the first 6 months, and I received a lot of praise from upper-level management as to my contribution in this project. They have hinted that they would like me to take on extra projects like this in the future. This new level of responsibility led me to do some research in the market as to salaries for software engineering managers, and I discovered that in general in Sydney, software engineering managers earn between $150,000 and $175,000. Currently, I am on a salary of $110,000 per year. I think I have a lot of potential in this company. I've also invested recently into management training so I can upskill myself and become a better manager and team leader. I feel that with a pay rise that meets the current market value for software engineering managers, I would be able to contribute a lot more to this company. Do you think we can revisit my compensation at this time? So that is the type of conversation you'll probably want to have with your manager when you are asking for a pay rise. Obviously, you can customize it, you can tailor it to suit what your specific situation is and what you are more inclined to say, matching your personality. But that's just a basic example to give you to help you have more confidence and have a bit more structure and strategy when you do ask for a pay rise. If you want a printed version of this conversation and how to ask for a pay rise at work, then check out the link in the description below. It is to my blog, to my website, and I have a blog post where I have outlined and actually written word for word this exact conversation. Now, if you want to know what to write in an email when you're inviting your boss to this particular conversation when you ask for a pay rise, then you'll want to watch this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a lot of value and ideas and strategy from this video. Hope you will have a lot more confidence when you ask for a pay rise at work. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.